Salikin. And others, the zuhd doesn't really necessarily have to do with how much you have. But the zuhd deals with how you handle what you have. And being in corporate America and working in corporate America has nothing to do with your piety. Has nothing to do with your piety. At-taqwa huna. Prophet said that taqwa is here. Some people come to me and say, oh, you're much more pious than us. I said, why? Because you sit in the office all day and you read books and you don't go out, you don't mix with this and that, mashallah. I said, that's not piety, man. That's luck. That's qadr. But the scholars used to say about Umar bin Abdul Aziz something interesting. They said, we respect Umar Abdul Aziz more because he had the propensity to do wrong and he didn't do it. He had the chance to do wrong and he didn't do it. That's why Umar Abdul Aziz is respected more than others. Those zuhada, those people who used to sit in their offices away from the people, they said, by Allah, we respect Umar more than we respect ourselves. Why? Because he had it in front of him and he controlled himself and he left the evil things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The other point is that the Prophet's companions, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, where did they settle after the time of Umar radiallahu anhu? Because Umar, he kept them in Medina, but after the time of Umar radiallahu anhu, the majority of the companions of the Prophet went where? To the caves? To the mountains? They went to the major urban centers of the world. Kufa, wal-Basra, Sham, Masr. Al-Masr taskun fi qalbi wallah. Assalamu alayki ya ard al-Azhar. So, they went all over the world. Where did they go? To the major cities of the world. Except for a few of them. And they engaged the people. That's how Islam spread. And when they went to those places, were Muslims the majority or the minority? Something nobody ever thinks about. Islam was still a minority. But they functioned within the society, brought benefit to the society. And by them, Masalih al-Huda, the companions of the Prophet, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Islam spread. By dealing with the people. By engaging the people. Radiallahu anhu. And that's why Umar, he was asked, who's the best person? The one who flees from the people? Or the one who mixes with the people? He said, the one who mixes with the people, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ امْتَحَنَ اللَّهُ قُلُوبَهُمْ لِلتَّقْوَىٰ. For those who Allah, He has tested. So my point is, brothers and sisters, sometimes I noticed that people feel naqs shakhsiyya, you know, inferiority complex, because they're in a professional field. Wallah, you should not feel this way. Your example, all of you, is like those Yemenis who went to Malaysia. How did they spread Islam? And what? How did they spread Islam in Malaysia? It's through business, through dealing with the people, engaging the people. We are not going to spread Islam by an Imam who sits in an office. Islam is not going to be presented to the people in America if a reporter comes here to one of our religious leaders in this community and interviews him and it comes on the TV and he says, Islam means peace. Islam, we are good people. We don't do anything wrong. We're a constitutional religion, and so on and so forth. But they have no one to talk to, no one to see. So by Allah, to some degree, I envy you, because you're able to interact with the people. When I taught the Maghrib course, and we have one Maghrib course coming, I hope inshallah everyone will take inshallah on the seerah. I flew back from Houston, first class, mashallah. First time, I think second time in my life, I flew first class. Wow, first class is a joke, man. A'udhu billahi min ad-dunya wa ma fiha. So anyways, I was sitting in first class, chilling with my V8. And there was a guy next to me, named Bin. So I was actually preparing for the class here I teach on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Ulum al-Quran. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn the laptop and make the font like 100. So Ben can see what I'm writing. You have those interactions every day. I was like, man, I'm lucky finally get a chance to try out what I learned at SR on some fresh meat. You're every day, right? So I turned, what Suraj Wahaj calls dawah moments. So I turned the laptop, started typing. Quran, Allah created us. Then that didn't work. So then I needed to get up. And then actually he got up before me. And the stewardess was kind of rough, kind of harsh. So I said to him, you know, it seems maybe she's kind of rough. He said, you know, her husband lost his job. So I realized he's a decent guy. Like, you know, he asked her, found out that she was a decent person. Then he asked me, what's your name? I said, my name is William. I say, William or Muhammad? Why? He said, Muhammad, man. Suhaib, then I noticed, what's Suhaib? So actually, one of my names is Muhammad. That's a long story, so I'm not lying to him. So I said, my name is William Muhammad or something like that. William. He said, really? I said, what are you reading right there? I had an Arabic book with me. Don't be shy of who you are, man. So the first issue is issue of identity. And I'll be honest, when I was a non-Muslim, I knew Muslims. I had a guy in high school named Salim. Man, crazy dude, man. He's a Muslim. Okay, Muslim. You've never known it, but he's a Muslim. And I remember, I didn't respect him. You know why I didn't respect him? Because he didn't respect his religion. And I was a non-Muslim. I'm not going to tell you his whole full name. You know, names have been changed to protect the innocent. But I remember as a non-Muslim, I felt that he was a sellout. I said, man, this dude's a sellout. Even though I was doing more dirt than, you know, the Caterpillar company, I said to myself, this guy is a sellout. Because he doesn't practice what Islam, and we know about Islam. What Islam tells them not to do, he does it. So I had no respect for him. But when I met a Muslim for the first time, who held on to his principles, and told me straight up, I'm a Muslim, I respected that person. American people are like that, man. They respect you if you're straightforward. No flip-floppers, man. No John Kerry. Straight. Straight to the point. I remember I met a brother named Ali, who became Muslim in Wichita, Kansas, of all places. Okay? He had a stereo that broke the sound barrier. Brother pulled up in front of the masjid, the windows would start shaking. Step by step, just became Muslim, you know. Haram control hadn't got to him yet, you know. Alhamdulillah, he was alright. So I asked Ali, I said, Brother Ali, how did you become Muslim? He said, Muslims are cool. Cool. I was like, you know, me, I read the Quran, I read like Ahmadiyya, you know, got like intellectual debates philosophically about Paul and the concept of the Trinity. They're like, no, Muslims are cool, man. Muslims are cool. I said, can you elaborate on that coolness? Let's get into our core coolness here. Try to understand why Muslims are cool. Listen to this, sisters. He said, from middle school to high school in Wichita, Kansas, there were these girls that used to wear this thing on their head. He said, I couldn't believe that they could do that. I said, why? He said, because of the pressure in my school for them to lose their virginity and dress like prostitutes. He said, I watched those women from 7th grade to my senior year in high school, and I came to a conclusion. I said, what? He said, those girls are on the truth. I said, how? He said, they didn't waver, brother. Everyone wavered but them. He said, to wear that in the 90s, the age of J.O., to wear that, something had to be stronger than the human spirit. Something had to cause them to transcend popular culture and cling to principles. He said, the only thing that can do that is al-haq. He said, that's why Muslims are cool. I said, I agree, brother. Muslims are cool. And he became Muslim, and he said, I never talked to those girls. Those girls don't even know me. But by watching a living example of someone in the age of postmodernity, where there's no fixed truth, quote unquote, cling to the truth. And look how he watched him. From middle school to high school, man. He was watching you. He was observing you. He said, from middle school to high school, I realized that these women were holding on to a higher power, man. Something that they were clinging to gave them the ability to transcend the jahiliyyah that was around me. And I realized that had to be the truth. So I started to find out and ask questions. And I found out that they were Muslims. You can do that in corporate America. How? By going around and preaching and telling people we're Muslims and this. Oh man, the most important thing people need now is people of good character. Upright people, righteous people, decent people, man. People who are not snakes. All over the world people need that, not just here. Number 2, make sure that you find other Muslims in the workplace. You gotta have that relationship with brothers and sisters that'll hold you together. I remember the brothers at Cisco and Intel also. They invited me to 2 programs. Man, these are the best programs I ever saw in Islam. Amazing. The Intel program with Salman, who used to live here, Hafizahullah, was so incredible that Intel recorded it and put it on the website. They said, we've never had a program like this. This is unbelievable. Why? Muslims are doing it, man. Muslims do a good job. Muslims work hard. Muslims are decent people. They're on time. And the brothers, they form like an MSA. Because what happens? What I call PMSA syndrome. Post-MSA syndrome. We get out of college. We have all that zeal. We come to the communities and the chachas throw us out. Right? Don't find places to work in many communities. Not here, alhamdulillah. But young brothers and sisters come out of college and they used to have that freedom to work as they did on campus. When they get older, they lose that freedom. They start to get depressed and down. They give up. From Islamic Awareness Week, now it's Islamic Awareness Minute. We'll be lucky. So you gotta find other Muslims and create organizations on campus. Muslim organizations that are gonna support you and also give a good image to other people. The third, inshallah, we'll look at what you've written. The third, and very important, is to not cut the umbilical cord to the masjid. Gotta come to the masjid, man. Once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, outside of Jummah, 4 times a week, once a day, if you can do it, man. But I got kids, bring your kids to the masjid. Man, I'm not gonna tell you to throw your kids out. We want to see your kids in the masjid. No problem. We're a community. We do istithnayat. Just control your kids and when it's time to pray, brother. Get some, tranquilizers or something, but control them. And I want to warn you about the trick of letting your kids pray behind you. That's a trick, man. There was a sheikh once in one of our communities. He used to put his sons between the men and the women. So he thought, mashallah, I'm following the sunnah, my kids are going to be alright. And Salatul Tarawih, what the sheikh, as soon as he would go Allahu Akbar, his kids would go downstairs and play ping pong. And listen, they were shouting. They would listen till they knew it was the last rak'ah, and they would run up and make ruku, pray the last rak'ah. Every 2 rak'ah. They love ping pong. But one day he broke his wudu. He went back there. Oh my gosh. We had to tell him, Sheikh, we're child abuse in America. You ain't back home, Sheikh? We're talking about barbed wire and stuff. Sheikh, come on now, no hangers. Okay? But take your kids to the masjid. Take your wife to the masjid. Sisters, you want to go to the masjid sometime? Wouldn't you love your husband take you to the masjid and you go out and buy him a nice watch? Right, brothers? Heck yeah. No problem, buy me a watch. Spend the evening together, huh? Go pray Isha together. Alhamdulillah, what's the problem? Go out as a family. Go to the masjid, because you gotta have a connection, brothers. You gotta have a connection with Allah. Because what's gonna carry you through corporate America is not your talents. That's a side issue. Allah has blessed all of you. I know many brothers here, man. Cornell University, MIT, mashallah. But if you don't have that relationship with Allah, that doesn't mean anything, man. It's not gonna take you anywhere. Won't take you anywhere. So the third is what? To have a strong relationship with your community.